Alright, when we last left the video, we were putting together the Shapeoko 4, and the assembly was kind of a failure. We were missing a few parts. So kudos to Carbide Create's support team. So given that the parts were missing, I called them up, sent them a few photos of what I thought was missing. This was on Saturday. They said they would ship them out on Monday, and sure enough, on Monday they shipped them out. And I received them on Tuesday, so next day, and installed them. Now we're at the point where the Shapeoko now is in one piece. It's all put together. You can see I've put a spoil board on top of the spoil board, and we're going to go back later on in the video, and I'm going to show you how I created the cutouts for this. And this was my initial cut. We're also going to create hold down holes for all the clamps. So just to give you an idea, this is what the table looks like right now for all the parts. All of that got to be cleaned up and put on the machine so we can get ready for some sort of first project. I'm not sure what that's going to be yet, but we'll see. Stick with me as we go through the spoil board design and Carbide Create, and I'll see where that takes us from there. See you in a little bit. Here we are in Carbide Create. I just set my stock size to 17.5 and 17, thickness to 3/4, softwood Shapeoko 4, and retract height of 0.25 in inches. Hit OK on that. Okay, here I've created a grid work that I'm going to overlay on top of our Carbide Create model. I'm just dragging it over. What I've done is I've used a whole bunch of little control box helpers for myself, just to make it easier to align where I want the actual holes to go. So what I've done here is as I'm clicking here, you'll see that I created a box, just a square, 3x3, another one at 7x7, another one at 3x13, the next one at 11x11, and then finally at 15x13. This is exactly where I want the bolts to go, and I know it's going to land right on the spoil board that came with the Carbide, the hybrid board. Okay, here I'm creating a little model for what I want my screw holes to look like. It's for the screw and for the washer. So basically it's two circles. So the first circle is going to have a diameter of 0.75, which is what I measured out my washers to be, the quarter inch washers. And the inner hole is going to hold the screw hole, is a screw hole for the screws going down into the socket, into the nuts that are going to be inside the spoil board. And those are 0.32 diameter. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy this to all 6 of the positions that I want on my spoil board. So those little squares are all going to be replaced by this little model of my washer and screw hole. Here I am, sliding it over. I'm now going to copy my little screw hole and washer model to all 6 of the locations onto the spoil board. Now we need to create the tool paths for our spoil board holes. Let's create the first tool path. The cutter I'm going to use is the SB Tools W04018, the spiral plunge 1/8 diameter extra long. I'm using the default cutting parameters for feeds and speeds. The starting cut depth is the top of the stock. The ultimate depth is 0.375 inches, so the washer and head of the bolt will be below the top of the spoil board. Let's take a look what this path will look like. Looks good to me. Okay, the next tool path is for the screw hole through the spoil board to make clearance for the screws. Same cutter is used, the SBE's W04018. Same as before, I'm using all the default cutting parameters for the speeds and feeds. The starting cutting depth is the top of the stock, and the depth of cut is 0.75 inches, which is the measured thickness of the stock. Let's take a look what this path will look like. And it looks good to me. Okay, let's save the G code out and get cutting. Okay, let's see how our cuts went. You can see the spoilboard here mounted up on the Shapeoko itself. Let's see if we can zoom in on some of these holes. Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, let's pull back a little bit. Okay, for our next project, what I'd like to do is to cut in the hold down holes so we can put in the little T-nuts from the bottom. And I'd like to see if we can put a little grid work here, maybe every inch or every 2 inches on square, just so we can get a reference for where our board should be. And then finally, what I'd like to be able to do is put in some sort of fence here so I can push stock right up against the corner, or perhaps something along those lines, just to be able to square up stock without too much effort. Alright, catch me on the next video. Talk to you soon.